Alright, before we start LCMs, here's a short little video from Father Bride.
Nina said as long as I was escaping, would I mind escaping to the market and picking up something for dinner? Sure, that was all I needed. A busy supermarket. I needed to drive, mellow out, get my mind off the wedding. But mellowing out was not in the cards.
Excuse me, sir, what are you doing?
I'll tell you what I'm doing. I want to buy 8 hot dogs and 8 hot dog buns to go with them. But no one sells 8 hot dog buns. They only sell 12 hot dog buns. So I end up paying for 4 buns I don't need. So I am removing the superfluous buns.
I'm sorry, sir, but you're gonna have to pay for all 12 buns. They're not marked individually.
Yeah. You want to know why? Because some big shot over at the Wiener Company got together with some big shot over at the Bun Company and decided to rip off the American public. Because they think the American public is a bunch of trusting nitwits who pay for things they don't need rather than make it stink. Well, they're not ripping off this nitwit anymore because I'm not paying for one more thing I don't need. George Banks is saying no.
Who's George Banks?
Me!
Alright, so in the video he had 8 hot dogs and 12 buns. So instead of just taking out those packages and ripping them apart, what could have been a smarter way to do? Well, if he had used his math sense, he could have looked and go, okay, well, I've got to buy for a party anyways. So if I buy 8 hot dog buns, 1 pack. If I buy 2 packs, I have 16. If I buy 3 packs, 24. And so on. These are called multiples. 8 times 1, 8 times 2, 8 times 3. These are the multiples we get. 8 times 4, we're now at 32, 40, and 48. And if he does the same thing with the buns, so he buys 1 pack of buns, 2 packs of buns, we're just adding 12. That's how we create our multiples. 36, or you can multiply 60 and 72. You notice we have some common multiples right here. That one's common. That one's common. You can create a lot of common multiples. But with an LCM, what we're looking for is the least of our common multiples. And that's our LCM right there. It is 24. So this is one method. You could just sit there and multiply them out. It's a little bit long, but it will get you there. You multiply them out, and the number that is the multiples that are common, those are common multiples, and then the least common multiple, that's your LCM, and that's where the least comes from. It means the smallest of these two. And the common multiples is exactly what it means. Alright, here's another technique, something that's a little bit less work. You can think about it this way. Say at a party, you're throwing a party, you pull out 2 grocery lists that you had made. And you don't remember when you made them or why you made them, but you don't know which one was the current one. So you made this list, but you can't decide which one's current. Well, you don't want to go out and buy, okay, well, I'm going to buy 5 apples. Because obviously when you made this list, you thought, hey, I only need 2. And when you made this list, you said, oh, well, I need 3. Well, which one will cover both of them? And that's the 3. If you buy 3 apples, then that's the same as just buying 2, right? These little 3 right here will cover those 2. We don't need to double count it. And you can do the same with the cookies. If you bought 3 packs of cookies, it would cover the 2 cookies. What about the pears? Which one's bigger, 1 pair or 2 pairs? 2. So if you buy 2 packs of pears, it will cover the 1 pack of pear. What else do we need? We need some cheese, and we need a peanut. This is how you find the LCM. You have to have all the parts of all the numbers, but you don't want to double count them. So you go through and you pick the biggest. So what we have to do is find the parts of the number, and that's our factors. So if we have 60 and 168, we take the 60 and we break it up. Remember, doing a factor tree, you can pick any 2 numbers that are factors. And you keep going until you have all of your factors. And then what you want to do is come down here and write them out. Draw a line between them because they are separate numbers, and then work on the next one. So that would be 2 and 84. 2 is prime. We can do it again. That's 2 and then 42. And then 42 is made up of 6 and 7. 7's prime. And then we have a 2 and a 3. Okay, and we write this out. That's 2 cubed times 3 times 7. And we have now created our two lists. So if you look at the list, this list says that we need two 2's, that's 2 squared, 1 3 and a 5. On this list we need 3 2's, a 3 and a 7. So to find our LCM, remember, just like on our list up here, we want to go through and pick the biggest of each type, and then the biggest will cover the smaller numbers. So if we have a 2 squared and a 2 cubed, 2 cubed is the bigger, so we use that one. We have a 3 and a 3, well, we just need 1, and that 3 right here will cover that 3. We also need a 5 and a 7, and now if we multiply that out, so that's 2 times 2 times 2, those are the 3 2's we need, a 3, a 5, and a 7, well, there you go, and we get 840. Alright, now let's check it. So if we take the 840, this is a multiple of 60, so if you divide it by 60, we get 14. Good, it's a nice number. If it's a multiple, that means that number, if 840 is a multiple of 60, that means 840 is divisible by 60, and it's also divisible by 168. So we should get 5, and there we go. So we know we're good. That is a multiple, and we also know it's a least common multiple because we did not double count any numbers. Alright, so there's method number 1. If you like that one, use that one. There's method number 2. You like that one, use that one. This is usually the favorite. And then my favorite, this is the ladder. And with the ladder method, what we do is we just try to find those numbers that we're double counting and only count them once. So what's a common multiple for 60? Sorry, what's a common factor for 60 and 168? Well, we know they have a 2. And then we just need to find out what's left now. So 2 times what will give you 60? It's 30. And 2 times what gives you 168? Well, that's 84. And then we draw a line because they still have something in common, which is a 2. 2 times 15. 2 times 42. Okay. And then we got to look, do they still have something in common? Well, remember the little trick, 1 plus 5 is 6. 4 plus 2 is 6. So since 6 is a multiple of 3, 3 is also a factor of it. So 3 times 5, and 3 times 14. And there we go. 5 and 14 have nothing left in common. So if we take those numbers and we multiply them together, you get the LCM. And if you notice, those are the numbers we have. It's 2 3, so 2 2, and then there's another 2 and 14. There's our 3 2's, a 3, a 5, and then the 7 from the 14. It's the same way of getting the same answer. It's just a different method. All right, so now I need you to try these right here. Use any method you want. You can use the multiply method, you can use the factor tree method, or you can use the ladder method. Give them a shot. Okay, so try these problems now. Hit pause and give them a shot. Okay, so for the first two, you should have had those answers. You should have gotten 72 and 576 for your LCMs with either method. And I did both methods here. So we have the ladder method and the factor tree method. Okay. So on the second one, if you notice 2 to the 6 and 3 squared, that's what I got them from. This was double counted. So we already have a 2 to the 6. We don't need just 2 more. Okay, and then I saved the 3 because I didn't really cover it, so I want to do it together and make sure you got it right. Alright, so let's do the factor tree method first. So if you go through them, we have a 2 and a 2 cubed. That one is the biggest, so we don't need that one. We have a 3 squared, but we don't want to double count it. And we have a 5. So if we use all of those, 3 squared times 2 cubed times 5, that will give us our answer, which is 360. All right. And for the ladder method, what we have to do is, remember, we're trying to find out what's being repeated. So you want to look at any of the numbers. Do they all have something in common? No, they don't. So we got to go in parts. 18 and 8, those both have a 2. So 2 times 9, 45 didn't, so we just bring it down, and 8, which is 4. So they had a 2 in common, we have to take it out. Now we look at it again. Do any of these two numbers or all three have something in common? All three do not, but 9 and 45 both have a 9. So we take that out and bring down the 4. And keep looking at them. They don't all have something in common, and none of the pairs have anything in common, so that is it. So if we take the 2, the 9, we don't really need to do a 1, the 5 and the 4, and we multiply it together, we get 360. And again, you can see the numbers down here, 2 and 4, that's 8, and that was our 2 cubed. We have the 5, and we have the 9. Both methods are just the ways to make sure that we don't double count numbers. Alright, and then the last one, 9 and 7 have absolutely nothing in common. So if they have nothing in common, you just multiply them together. And that's LCMs. Thank you.